Have you ever known something before you had any reason to know it? You walked into a room and immediately felt that, hey, something's off. Or you thought about someone you hadn't heard from in months and suddenly they're calling you on the phone. You were about to make a decision that looked absolutely perfect on paper, but something inside of you whispered, nah, don't do it. That voice, that feeling, that knowing is what we are talking about today. Intuition. Welcome to Life Journey Readings by Lee Osborne. And I'm Lee Osborne. Today we're going to explore 3 questions. What exactly is intuition? How can you develop and strengthen it? And how can you tell the difference between genuine intuition and that very loud roommate living in your head called the ego? And I'm going to give you a few simple exercises you can start using today. So let's begin. What is intuition? One of the biggest misconceptions about intuition is that only certain people have it. Psychics, mediums, card readers, spiritual healers have it, but everybody else, not so much. Well, not so. We are all intuitive. You may experience it differently than I do, but that doesn't mean you don't have it. Intuition is that ability to know or sense something without consciously reasoning your way to the answer. Sometimes it comes through a feeling, a thought, an image, a dream. You might get goosebumps or feel something in your stomach. You may hear simply in your head, yes, or no, or you just know. From a practical point of view, we can think about intuition as our mind and our body picking up information and patterns before our conscious mind understands what it has noticed. Spiritually, we can think of intuition as communication from our higher self, our spirit, angels, guides, God, whatever name you give that greater source of wisdom. For me, those 2 possibilities aren't mutually exclusive because ultimately, intuition is about learning to recognize your own language of knowing. So, how does my intuition speak? Let's bring the cards into this. If you've got a deck of angel, tarot, or oracle cards, you can grab it now. And if you don't, that's okay. I'll pull a card and you can simply listen for whatever part of the message speaks to you. So as you shuffle, ask, how is my intuition trying to communicate with me right now? How is my intuition trying to communicate with me right now? How is my intuition trying to communicate with me right now? So then we pull a card. You can take the top card, you can take the bottom card, you can pull any card. But before you reach for the guidebook or read any of the words that might be on the card, what did you notice first? Is it a color? Is it a symbol? Is it a person? An animal, a word, a feeling? That first impression matters. Because developing intuition isn't always about learning more, it's about learning to trust what arrives before your mind has time to interfere. If we look at this, the Lover's card, you see the Archangel Raphael in green, and you have 2 people holding hands, which symbolizes love, connection, those sorts of things. And in the card, it talks about intimate friendships, making choices from the heart, those sorts of things. And now we get into the interesting part. Because people often ask, hey, how do I know if this is actually intuition or if it's just me making this up? First of all, your intuition is part of you, but there is a difference between intuitive knowing and the mental chatter created by fear, desire, expectations, or ego. Here's the best way I can think of to describe it. Intuition informs, ego argues. Intuition is simple. Call, wait, take the opportunity. Something isn't right. Go, stay. And then the committee meeting happens. But what if I'm wrong? What if they think I'm crazy? Maybe I need another sign. I need a signier sign. Maybe I should pull another card or 7 just to make absolutely sure. And this is where things really get muddy for us. Intuition speaks once, ego writes a dissertation. Intuition feels clear. Ego wants to negotiate. Fear creates an entire imaginary future. And intuition usually gives you the information you need right now. For example, fear will say, don't go, something horrible is going to happen. Everything's going to fall apart. Intuition will simply say, not today. See the difference? One creates a storm, the other gives information. Now, here's something for you to try. When you are unsure whether you're hearing intuition or ego, ask yourself, is this message clear or is it frantic? Then stop thinking about the answer for a moment and go into your body. How does it feel? Intuition can absolutely warn us. It isn't always warm and fuzzy. But even when intuition says no, there can be a strange sense of clarity underneath it. Fear keeps escalating. Intuition says no. Fear says, no, because this might happen. Then that could happen. And remember what happened in 1997. And what if everybody hates you forever? Ah! Look, we've all been there. Me too. So how do I develop my intuition? So here's the good news. You don't need to manufacture intuition. Just develop a relationship with the intuition that's already there. Think about tuning an old radio. Station's broadcasting, but they're static. Till we tune it into the station, it comes in clear. And in our lives, there's a lot of static, isn't there? Phones, social media, other people's opinions, fear, expectations from others, constant stimulation. So, the most powerful way to strengthen your intuition is incredibly simple. Get quiet. Now, not for 3 hours. Start with trying 5 minutes. Put down your phone. Turn everything off. Sit somewhere comfortable and take a breath and ask, what do I know right now? Not what do I want to happen? What am I afraid will happen? Not what does everybody else think I should do? No, just what do I know? And then listen. Now, let's try something together. If you're listening to this while you're driving, absolutely do not do this. Otherwise, if it feels comfortable, close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath. Then think of something completely ordinary that you know is true, like your name, your address, something that doesn't carry a lot of emotion, and say that truth silently to yourself. Now notice your body. What happens? Does your chest relax? Do your shoulders droop? Does your stomach feel different? Does something expand? There is no wrong answer. You are simply observing. Now, think of something that you know is absolutely false. And notice whether anything changes. This isn't about turning your body into some magical lie detector. It's about becoming familiar with your own internal signals. You are learning your language. So, let's go to the cards once again and ask, what blocks my intuition? And we're going to use a Nature's Whisper card oracle deck. This time, the first one we used was an Angel Wisdom tarot deck from Radleigh Valentine. And so we're asking as we're shuffling, what is blocking my intuition? What is blocking my intuition? What is blocking my intuition? And again, you can draw the first card, the bottom card. You can spread the cards out and pick a card from somewhere in the middle. which I will do with this, but we took the top card the first time, we'll pull this one the second time. And look at the card again. We're looking at the card before you interpret it. And what is the first thing that you see? And now ask yourself, what might I need to release, question, or become aware of? And so what are we looking at this? What are we looking at here? Here we have the tree. We have the green man, this person that is turning into a person and kissing the woman who is coming up from the ivy, okay? And with the sun in the background, and what does that mean to you? What is this card saying to you? And at the bottom, it's acceptance of love. If you want more information, you can then go to the guidebook, but this is all about what is this saying to you? So what are you afraid of? Maybe you need approval from somebody else. Maybe you're afraid of making the wrong decision. Maybe you hear your intuition very, very clearly going, hey, you are worthy of love, okay? But you've developed the habit of talking yourself out of it. Now, there's no judgment here, and there's no wrong way to do this. This is awareness. Because once we start to see and hear the static, we can begin to turn down the volume on that. So practice with some small things. Don't start by, should I sell everything I own and move to another country? That's pretty big. Let's work up to that. Practice with small everyday things. Before checking your phone, ask, who texted me when the alert goes off? Before opening an email, what kind of message does this feel like? When you're choosing between two options, pause before deciding and notice which one your body responds to. Then, and this is the part that really matters when it comes to developing intuition, write it down. Keep an intuition journal. Record what you felt, how the message arrived, what you thought it meant, and what actually happened. After a while, you'll begin seeing patterns, and this is what this is all about, is seeing the patterns. Oh, when my intuition is accurate, I feel it in my stomach. The old gut feeling, right? Or my intuition comes through dreams. Or the first thought is usually intuitive. Then my anxiety spends 20 minutes trying to rewrite it. You are creating your own dictionary. And so now we can ask the cards, what is the message that I need today? So as we pull the Ancient Stones Oracle, we're going to ask, what does my intuition want to know today? And what does my intuition want me to know today? What does my intuition want me to know today? And so this time, what we're going to do is we're going to pull the very bottom card. And we're going to look at the card. And we're going to see. And we're going to see, look, here's people on opposite shores. There are a couple of towers. There is rainbow. And it looks like, well, is the water dividing? And this talks about take a chance, do something different. So we're looking, see, we're feeling what's in my body. We're listening to that intuition. What is it saying to us? Okay? And so, and asking what catches your attention? What thought immediately enters your mind? And what does your body do? And perhaps more importantly, what did you know before you started questioning what you knew? And let's sit with that, okay? So the first couple of cards had to do with embracing love, and now this is talking about taking a chance, doing something different, stepping out of your comfort zone. So I'm going to leave you with this. You don't need to become more intuitive. You need to learn and be willing to trust yourself. Intuition doesn't always shout, doesn't always explain itself, and it certainly doesn't always give us the entire map. Sometimes it only gives us one step. Call, wait, go, stay, trust, and then it waits. Your intuition isn't something outside of you that you're trying to reach and grasp. It's a frequency you've always carried. It's a doorway into relationship with yourself. Maybe this whole journey isn't about learning something new at all. It's about remembrance. So I am Lee Osborne, and this is Life Journey Readings by Lee Osborne. Thank you for sharing this time with me. If today's message spoke to you, take one small opportunity this week to listen to your intuition before asking somebody else for the answer. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome back to the channel. And tell me in the comments, how does your intuition speak to you? Is it a feeling? Is it a voice? Does it come in your dream? Is it in signs, or do you simply know? Or is it a combination of all those things, okay? Remember, there's no wrong way to do this. There are no wrong answers. Until next time, listen for the whisper, trust what resonates, and remember, the guidance you're searching for may already be speaking to you. You just have to become quiet enough to hear it.